Hello, good evening, everybody. What's going on? It's me, John D. Villarreal here. Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful evening. Lot to talk about. I'm wearing my freedom shirt here. Pretty cool. I like it. Wow. I want to speak about this earlier. I really did. We're going live right now. LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. Wanted to go live earlier and speak about this. And I actually had planned to speak about this like my other broadcast, and then I got so caught up with a bunch of other news and the SVB stuff, and there's just so much to talk. There's so much to talk about now. I mean, if you miss a week, it's almost like missing a year in a certain way, right? But this news is, listen, I'm going to try to hit this from a little bit of a different angle, kind of. I mean, it's not necessarily my intention. I'm not trying to do that necessarily. But I think there's a lot to say here. I'm going to try to, well, I guess I would say this. I'm not trying to get into the sort of back and forth and who do you like and all that stuff. I think that, well, let's just roll with it. Who knows? What's going to go where it's going to go, right? I am, in my opinion, a political expert. Been involved in politics for a long time. Haven't done anything too recently, but I've run campaigns. I studied political science undergrad at Berkeley, law school at Berkeley. Been involved in politics. My dad was a heavy duty government worker. In my opinion, was up for a big job in the Clinton administration, in my opinion. My brother, I'm not sure still is, I'm not sure. I don't know the exact status of it, but at least was up for a big job in the Biden administration. Obviously, my politics are a little bit different, right? I'm conservative, almost libertarian. And, definitely met a lot of people, know a lot of people. I'm not trying, if you know me, if you've been following me, you know this, but I'm just kind of getting everybody up to speed if you weren't aware of that. So, like I said, definitely been involved in campaigns since, I think I've been doing stuff with campaigns like since 7th grade as a volunteer or something like that. So anyway, long time. Okay. So, and all my personal opinion, knowledge, ain't facts, not cash, and dispersion, etc., etc. All right. So here's the deal. Here's what I'm seeing right now. Here's what I'm looking at right now. What is up with this stuff with Trump? Oh my goodness. Now, I don't know what the plan is, but whatever the plan is or was, in my opinion, and let me revise and extend that. All right. Forget about all that. Let's cancel all that. Let me start again. Those on the left or those on the right, that whatever's happening is whatever's happening, and I'm not making any comment on that whatsoever, right? We'll come back to that. If I have comments on that, then I'll make comments on that. Anyone from a political standpoint that thought that this was going to be damaging to Donald Trump, I think made a major miscalculation from a political standpoint. I don't think that makes any, that's not happening. That's not working out. If someone made the content, here we go. Okay, here we go. We've got Lola J. What do we got here? Imagine dying funding bad toupees. Okay, so we've got some people that maybe don't like Trump. Okay, and that's okay. Everybody's welcome here as long as you're respectful, right? We can have it. That's fine. Listen, I went to underground law school at Berkeley. Half my family are liberal, actually way more. Some are changing. It's totally fine. Let's have a conversation here. Now I'm trying to keep up with everything. What? Huh. I don't know. Okay. Look, listen, here's the deal. Here's where we're at on this one. Okay. All right. All good. Here's the deal. If anybody thought that this was going to hurt Trump politically, particularly for the primaries, that does not seem to be playing out, number one. Number two, let's say that, you don't like Trump or anything like that. Are you supportive of this situation? And I don't want to get into the whole thing. I don't want this to be like no disrespect, like a Fox News episode or an MSNBC episode or, all this. I just want to have a pause. I think here's where I'm at. we have to get way away from this super crazy hyper partisanship. We have to be like, get back to some sort of normality on our politics. We have to decriminalize politics, right? I mean, you know, and we have to have equal justice. All these, like, we have to be able to talk to each other, work with each other, live with each other, all these types of things. Like, it's gone too nuts. Okay. And here's what I mean by that. You have, I'll hold on. I'll pull up on some more comments here as we go. Russia, right? The whole Russia case didn't pan out. That went bust. The Ukraine stuff, the impeachments. I mean, there's just so much, right? That I can't. The Mar-a-Lago thing. I mean, it goes on and on. Like, and someone has said this. Like, it's not like the way it feels. Again, I'm not alleging anything, casting any aspersions or anything like that. It's just like some people. It's just get Trump at all costs. It doesn't matter. Like, they're not in. It's not in search of a. They're not investigating a crime. They're investigating a person trying to find a crime or something. Like, it's just crazy. It doesn't matter. And then someone explained it. I don't even get in all the particularities, but someone explained it way smarter than me on the legal stuff, right? About like what was involved. I don't think it was. I don't know. Was it Dershowitz? I think it was Professor Dershowitz. Super smart dude. Obviously Harvard Law and everything like that. Emeritus and emeritus. And. Or maybe it was Andy McCarthy, former federal prosecutor, one of those. I think it's Professor Dershowitz. And like, this thing is so insane. It's like a bank shot off a corner pocket and picking a lottery. Like, it just makes no sense whatsoever. But oh my gosh, they're going to indict him. And wasn't that supposed to happen today? And then it was like the handcuffs. Like what are we doing? Meanwhile, like, there's some cities with some problems out there in terms of like, security and what's happening with crime and stuff like that. There was calls before of defund the police. There was like minimizing, like, we're not prosecuting certain crimes. I mean, I've seen things in San Francisco in the Bay Area where people are just literally leaving their trunks open because people might come by and steal their stuff. They don't want their windows broken in the car. Like it's just really, it's really crazy. Okay. All good. Okay, so I'm jumping ahead here, Lola. I'm going to take a pause on my stuff. And yeah, right. It is extreme part. Like, it is super crazy, right? A lot of people are calling themselves independents now. And this is what I'm trying to talk to you about. This is not about Trump. Like, I'll talk about that and why and how it is about Trump in certain ways, but this aspect of it is not. And I want to try to, my mind, no preparation on this one because I'm so busy, a lot of things going on. So I'm going to try to do the best show I can. I want to stay really focused. There's a lot to talk about here, and it can get a little, I don't want to say complex, but there's different layers here, right? And oftentimes the news media and the partisans, they try to convolute it. They try to work it for their own whatever, potentially, hypothetically, right? And so from no matter whom you are, and we've seen some big time liberals coming out. It's Chris Rock, no less. And I'm not saying he's very political. I don't know, but he's a great comedian, obviously very, very talented celebrity. Has said a lot of people have said some different comments here. So I don't think it's like the normal, like a lot of people that are on the left or maybe liberal or whatever have said like, this is crazy. Like, at what point? Dude, he's a former president who's already announced that he's running for the presidency again. So he's the major market candidate. He's leading in the polls. I mean, we've had his tax returns come out like it's nonstop. It's nonstop. But yeah, his family member, like all kinds, like it's just, we've got stuff going on in Atlanta. Like I can't keep up with it. It's nonstop with this dude. Like, I mean, when does it end? Meanwhile, we've got questions on the other side, whether it was Clinton or Biden or blah, blah, blah. I mean, and nothing's been done about that. And again, listen, I don't want to go down that road. It's that's what I'm saying. Like that, this gets very technical, and I don't want anything to be misconstrued or anything like that. But it can't be like this. Like, I mean, both things can be true, right? I mean, nobody's above the law, absolutely, for sure. Like, we're all, the same and everything like that, which is great. But you can't, do political persecutions either, particularly to the major market candidate. Like we can't have this, whatever you want to call it, lawfare or whatever, where major candidates are being taken out or sidelined or hurt or like there's dirty political tricks. I'm not saying this, I'm not alleging anything. I'm just saying, forget about this. Let's go to a hypothetical land, right? There can be like a hypothetical land of dirty political tricks and October surprise and all that. But like, there's got to be a line, right? There have to be certain rules of engagement. Like, you just can't do this. Like, think of it, the shoe was on the other foot. Think if like President Trump was doing this to Biden or Secretary Clinton, or like, people would flip and they'd be right. Like, this is insane. This is insane, right? From a political standpoint. Like, and I think that's like Professor Dercher was showing something like the statute of limitations is run on this. Are we like, how's a local DA doing stuff on the campaign, on the federal law, and the FEC's already ruled on? Like, it's super nuts, right? Yes, Jeremy Lin. Well, I love Jeremy Lin. He's so great, dude. We love Jeremy Lin. And in fact, I got to get Paul Levy to get the political, as you know out there, I'm a big Jeremy Lin fan, but I'm definitely not the basketball expert. I I understand the athletics of it. Anyway, we'll come back to that. Tuan, thank you so much for being there. We appreciate you. There's no question about it. So anyway, like I said, I don't want to get stuck in the milieu of all this type of stuff. But I will say like this, like we've got to get to a better place, because I'm only 11 minutes into this. I have so many other things. I want to move on. I'm kind of, bumping the headlines down here, in my opinion. So it's going to sort out. And for everyone I've seen, here's the other thing, everything I've seen, like, people are saying like, this is not going to go anywhere. And no matter what happens with the jury or whatever, if whatever happens, now I'm seeing news reports where the DA may not go after Trump. Okay, because there's been a lot of pushback. But either way, I'm seeing like people, I haven't seen anyone serious that I've seen that says that this actually is going to go anywhere and actually going to do anything. So what are we doing? Right? Like is that appropriate? Like to incur the political damage and this disunity, if you will, for something that nobody that I've seen that says is going to go anywhere. Like that's what I'm talking about. This is like we're doing all these things. Like, some people potentially, maybe it's politically they just want to get, they just want to defeat Trump politically at any cost, and it's just really crazy. A nothing burger, right? Okay. Well, I'm not going to say. So, a lot of people are saying that, right? So let's sort this out a little bit. Okay, so that's the background. And again, I'm not the expert on it. I haven't read all the articles, because I just can't get in. It's like a soap opera. I can't get in the daily back and forth. And it is. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not paying attention, because this is very, very important. And we all know that. But let's look at the bigger picture here. The bigger picture is we have to we got to take the hyperpartisanship down a number of notches. We have to decriminalize politics. We can't be doing this. I don't know how we can't be having local prosecutors messing up political presidential races without super, again, I don't want to speak on, but you can't be doing stuff on it has to be really, really, so I don't know, I didn't even know, I'm not going to pontificate on that. So let's just it just feels weird. I don't even want to say that. I'm not even revising stuff. I'm not even, you know what? Forget I said anything. I'm just going to push that aside, because that's what I'm saying. Okay, let's talk about the politics. Not the greatest show. I'm trying. There's a lot of stuff going on. Let's talk about the politics of it, but people, listen, people have a feeling about this. It's affecting the polls. People are talking about this, and it's, you know what I'm saying? Here's the deal. If he's so bad, Trump meaning, and nobody wants to vote for him, let the people decide. That's the thing. People have to be able to choose president or not. Let's see what the Republican voters say. Let's have him on the debate stage. Trump can campaign. People will elect him as a GOP nominee, or they won't. Then in a presidential race, we probably could see a Biden. Because I think Biden says he's running. I think he's going to run. I don't see how anyone's going to beat him. He's a sitting president. He's been doing his thing there. Biden versus Trump again. Let's see what happens. Run it back. Whatever. Let's go. Rematch. Let's see what happens. If Trump's so bad, or whatever, then he'll lose. You know, the point being is the American people have to decide, not you know, bureaucrats or party, you know, bosses or anything like that. Let the American people decide. Let them see where it's at. But in the midst of all this, so here's what we've got. So where did everybody come down on this? What's been saying? This is a terrible show, and I apologize. I'm doing my best. Okay. If anybody thought that politically this was going to hurt Trump and this was going to really damage him, I don't think that's worked out so well. Okay, and what do I mean by that? So let's talk about it. Dude, here's the latest polls. And this is one poll, and there's different polls. I get it. But this is from, let's see here. 1 second. I think I want to say Morning Consult. Okay. And again, different polls are different methodologies. I can't get in every single one of them. But you have Trump versus DeSantis, January 2nd. And I'll have links to in the video description on YouTube for this. So you can, as usual, you can check it out and do your own diligence and see what you think. DeSantis 34, Trump 45. So Trump's, you know, up 11. And this is by Hannah Blau, Breitbart, March 23rd, 21. Okay. Headline, quote, poll, Trump sees another boost amid rumors of looming arrest. DeSantis drops. And so it's basically showing this thing, going through it. And again, I'm using some different, again, I'm not, you know, you have to, if you're going to comment on, and some people are like, oh, the sources, listen, if you're going to comment, whoa, okay, hold on, wow, okay, Twan, hold on, I'm going to take a pause on this. I live in Philly, and all the Wawa downtown close their doors because they cannot stop the looting. It's becoming Seattle number 2. I think people are going to move away to big cities pretty soon. I mean, this is like, dude, you know, people have to feel safe, right? I mean, the government's supposed to provide safety and security, right? And secure people's rights and stuff like that. Like, it's just, you know, these are some de minimis, you know, type of, some minimum sort of competencies that need to be happening here, Twan. We'll come back to that here in a second. And so, you know, look, I look at all kinds of different sources, left, right, center. I think that the more you can read international sources, I'll look at stuff internationally. And particularly if you're going to comment, like if I was going to comment on the Democrat primary, I'd be diving into like Slate and Vice and MSNBC and stuff like that. So you have to do that, right? And so I think it's very important to see some as many things out there. Anyway, January 2nd, Trump 45, DeSantis 34. February 25th, Trump 48, DeSantis 30. March 14th, Trump 52, DeSantis 28, March 19th, right? So a couple days ago, Trump, when we had like, oh, he's going to get there, you know, they might arrest him and it's that. Trump 54, DeSantis 26. And again, you can say, okay, well, you know, maybe the methodology, maybe this poll and I've got that poll and whatever. But if you look at the trend is clear. The trend is super clear, okay? And then we have over here, you know, it was very unfortunate. Let me look at this and like going real clear politics. Okay, we've got a new one here. Monmouth, Trump 44, DeSantis 36. And, you know, who knows? But here's the deal. If we look at this, if we look at the average of them and where it's been at, and again, you've got a couple outliers here, and I'll put a link to this. You've got Monmouth, Trump 44, DeSantis 36. Quinnipiac before that, Trump 46, DeSantis 32. CNN had DeSantis 39 versus Trump 37, but that's kind of an outlier. I and Tip, you know, early in the month was Trump 51, DeSantis 22. Emerson before that, Trump 55, DeSantis 25. I mean, it's like, forget it. If you look at the blend of all of them, you got Trump up by 14.9, Trump 43.9, DeSantis 29. Then you've got Pence, then Haley, then Cruz, then Pompeo, and it goes on from there. And some of these people like haven't even announced. Like Cruz hasn't announced, Pompeo hasn't announced yet that I know of. And the point of it is this: like this was a chance. Okay. So number one is this is not going to. This is not hurt Trump from a political standpoint, right? And it's like, well, John, they haven't arrested him yet, and the handcuff and the perp walk. I guess I wouldn't expect that. I wouldn't expect that. And in fact, no less than Chris Rock has comments on that as well. And I'm going to get to Vivek. I'm going to get to DeSantis. I'm going to get to all of it, right? We're going to do all of that. I'm just trying to, there's so much I've got to cover right here. I've got to find this. Where is this? Chris Rock, I've got so many, as usual, I've got so many different windows and sources open and everything. But Chris Rock basically made a statement where it was like, look, this is not, here we go, right here. And here we go. This was on, I guess, TikTok, and it sounds like, I don't know, I can't allege it, but it's been reported that, quote, are you guys really going to arrest Trump? Do you know this is only going to make him more popular? It's like arresting Tupac. He's just going to sell more records, unquote. Allegedly. I can't say what the source is of this. If you play it, it sounds like Chris Rock to me. But again, I don't know. I'm not seeing the video. I wasn't there. But so look, I mean, where are we at on this, right? I mean, I don't think it makes any sense. I don't think this makes any sense. And what do we do? And that's the thing. Like if you ask someone on the left, like what did Trump do this time? What happened to the whole, the class, the documents and Mar-a-Lago and stuff, and then we had the whole Corvette thing, right, and all kinds of other stuff. Like, I mean, how many times do we have to go? It's nonstop. When has it ever stopped? When has this ever stopped since like 2015, 2016? Like, I mean, it's just constant. And I just think it's like, it's the person who cried wolf, like the American, like we're just like done with it, dude. Like, so here's the thing. And if it's like what Rush used to say, like if everybody's against, they'll tell you who they're afraid of by who they're, if they're all against, if the left-wing establishment's against Trump, then what does that say? That's only going to rally people to him. And Chris Rock is kind of saying that. So, okay, so what about the reaction to it? There was a lot of deafening silence over the weekend, and I wanted to come out there, and I planned to do it with my SVB thing, but I got so caught up in that, and I had like 2 other shows to do, and Janier wanted to do a show. And I have to say, like, and I don't want to get into every specific, but I'm going to do some shout outs right here. Number one, and I want to make it a positive show, right, as much as I can. Look, this Vivek Ramaswamy is on fire, dude. This dude is on fire. He's really, and again, he had a take on SVB, had a little bit of a different take. That's totally cool. I mean, first of all, this dude is really, really smart, in my opinion. And he's been very successful. He is out there. I love the social media. I love what he's doing. I love what he's saying. He's doing a lot of stuff. This dude is really making some moves. And again, doesn't mean that I'm like endorsing everything he's saying or doing. I don't follow everything he's saying and doing, but he's really taking a very strong lead on this. He put out some kind of commitments recently. We may talk about that as well. But he had comments here. I forgot about it, but he's talking about any of the permanent state, but he made some comments on this that I thought were very strong. And he basically said, it's my paraphrase, and I would refer you to his Twitter, and I'll find it hopefully and put it in the video description on YouTube, which basically, listen, people have told me, I've had people tell me I shouldn't say anything about this. This probably is not going to help me politically, but it's not right. And I think people really appreciate that. People want to get back to representative government, right? To, transparency, honesty, and effectiveness, competency, right? Just the basic stuff. And I'm not saying we don't have that now, but we can definitely use a lot more of that with a lot less of the partisanship. We're all Americans. What's going on? Pitting people against each other in this group and that group, like it's shit, the hyper, like everything's criminalized. Like, no, dude, we don't want to be like that. People will come from all over the world that are fleeing, maybe not the best situations to be here. Maybe there are great situations. There's different situations all over the world, right? But a lot of people are coming here. A lot of people have come here and maybe they're political, they were, in their country, they fled, political persecution and stuff like that. Like I was down in South Florida, and there was a lot of people that I had met that had, left Venezuela, that had left Cuba, that had left different places where things were a little dicey. And they don't want that anymore. Okay. Now, I mean, there's different places, and I don't want to sit here and again, I want to make this a positive thing, but I mean, like, what's going on? People that have come from Syria. I went to school with some people that had come from Syria, and I'm like, what a tragic situation that is. So it's like, people don't want that here, dude. And so if you look at this situation, Vivek Ramaswamy is really stepping up and doing a great job and really speaking truth to power. And here, like he says, March 20th, quote, I'll keep speaking truth. We'll find out whether that's a winning political formula or not. This is amazing. And responding and retweeting Governor Mike Huckabee, March 20th, quote, not sure. This is from Governor Mike Huckabee. Not sure his presidential campaign will catch fire. I'm a real Donald Trump supporter. But Vivek Ramaswamy is an important and much needed voice in our culture, and he's worth a listen. And putting people over to Vivek Ramaswamy, dude. Vivek Ramaswamy is awesome, dude. This guy's again. That doesn't mean I support everything or endorse everything. I've shown where I've differed from him, but that dude he's got energy. He's got intelligence. He's doing stuff. He's speaking it, and I like what he's doing. And I think he can speak to, he can help really get the message out there in a lot of ways. So I really like it. I like what he's doing here. I think he's up big. It may not show in the polls, but I think he's up big. And I'm talking about serious people are really, checking this dude out, and he's doing himself. And this is the thing. If you're going to run for, and again, I'm not saying this is where he's at. I'm not speaking for anyone. I haven't had any contact with him. Again, I've been out of the political game for a little bit. I may be getting back in. Absolutely. No problem, Twan. Good to see you, brother. I'll see you next time. Absolutely. We love our fans out there. We love our Jeremy Lin fans out there. You keep being good, brother. But if you're going to run for office, and let's say you don't, or maybe other people don't think you have the best, strongest chance, or whatever like that, do it like Ramaswamy, dude. I mean, and listen, anything can happen. I'm not counting that dude out. That dude's on fire right now. Politically, okay? On the Republican side. Do I think that right now, today, Governor DeSantis or Donald Trump have anything to worry about him politically? No. But I think what he's doing is he is dramatically increasing his name ID. He's dramatically increasing his political capital, political currency, if you will. So I can see that dude easily getting slotted into potentially even a VP slot, a cabinet slot, something. I mean, that dude is Ramaswamy, dude. Ramaswamy is legit. He's legit. And again, I'm not endorsing anything and never met him. There's nothing, but just from the outside of, would you, let me put it this way. Politically, I'm not trying to, I got to be very careful how I say this. Would you rather be a Ramaswamy today, politically, or a Secretary Pompeo, who is also very, very impressive and has done, some major things and did a great job? I mean, it's not even close. So I think if you're one of these B or C tier candidates right now, based on the polls, I'm not saying that's where I don't want to misspeak, but I'm just saying, okay, I'm going to revise, excuse me. Let me revise and extend what I'm saying right here. Don't want to be, that's what I'm saying. It's a tough show to do. There's so much to go in here. If you're a candidate that's not pulling above 10%, let's tell you that. If you're a candidate that's not pulling at 10%, who would you rather be? Or let's say you're pulling less than 5%. Who would you rather be right now? What's the one? Ramaswamy. That's the one who's got the energy. That's how you do it. Ramaswamy is doing the right thing. He's making the right moves. And very much echoing a lot of sentiments out there that are coming from an Elon Musk, who's also on fire. Oh my goodness. Elon Musk is just his Twitter is almost must read on a daily basis. I haven't even seen it today. And I'm okay, wait, I got to go see what's going on. Elon Musk is just on fire as well. So Ramaswamy's doing himself a lot of help there. I think politically, oh man, this is, dude, Elon Musk pinned tweet, March 20th, quote, on Twitter, there appears to be zero self-awareness among legacy media. They behave like an NPC drone collective. You have to know video games to get that joke. Not too hard. Look it up. That's amazing. Dude, he's just on fire. I love it. He's on fire. Doing a lot with SpaceX. I don't think he's tweeted anything today. Oh my goodness, had something on the banks here on March 20th. He's on fire. Okay, so that's where I'm at on that. So let's talk now. Let's bring it around to DeSantis. This is, before I do that, Kevin McCarthy, speaking of McCarthy, oh man, wow. Hey bro, first of all, full disclosure, like I used to be involved, in my opinion, with the California GOP and the young Republicans out there and stuff. And we did some stuff. I was in California. I knew a lot of the players. I don't know. I can't recall if I ever met Speaker McCarthy, but I knew like the whole Bakersfield, like the whole thing. And I knew when they were coming up with the young guns and Speaker Ryan and Whip Cantor and all that type of stuff. And I always had a favorable impression of Kevin McCarthy. I wasn't so sure. Like I was a little nervous with, some of the stuff and the young guns and what's been going on with the back and forth between Trump and Ryan. A little nervous on that. And I knew I interviewed Governor Pawlenty before a long time ago, but I had I had a good feeling about Speaker McCarthy and just where it was at, and definitely, pro farmers. And I heard from some people that just, he was positive. I don't know, but I wasn't sure, right, where this was going to come out because things change and whatnot. And again, and I will say, and listen, I will also say this. So before I even get to, well, I guess, how do I do this first? Let me stay with this. Anyone that had any doubts, like the Freedom Caucus, and we're going to get to the Freedom Caucus here in a second, but like anyone on the conservatives or Trump supporters, whatever, I mean, dude, Speaker McCarthy is, if you could be hotter than Vivek, it's Speaker McCarthy right now in terms of political, like the dude is on fire. The dude is in his lane, and everything he does, like you can't, like, how do you criticize it? Like, oh, we're going to actually show people what happened. Oh yeah, we're going to have hearings on this. Oh yeah, we're going to I mean, his comments, where's his comments? He had great comments on this too. I got to find that too. I apologize. I should have had that up. I mean, let me do that real quick. Let me try to find this really quick. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it super duper quick. I apologize on this. I apologize. I should have had this. And he said, McCarthy says Americans should not protest if Trump. I agree with that. Like, we don't need any Trump protests. Like, we just need we need calmness and sanity here. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what he said, right? Because we want calmness out there. That's what McCarthy is like. He's like, right. That's what I'm talking about. Like, he's getting, you can't, the people that are DC establishment, you can't say McCarthy, he's way out there. But then the Freedom Caucus and the Trump supporters, okay, he's really standing up. It's this is it. And here we go. Right here. McCarthy on Twitter. I knew it right here. And we've got it right here. I'll put a link to this. Quote, it's, let me find it. Dude, this is amazing. This is Speaker McCarthy, pinned tweets, and he has a pinned tweet right here, February 22nd, quote, you deserve to know the origins of COVID. You deserve to know why DOJ went after parents. You deserve to know why American lives were lost in Afghanistan. The Republican majority is in pursuit of truth and will hold this administration accountable, unquote. Of course, it's political. Of course, but I mean, objectively, how do you, tough to poke holes in on that, you know what I'm saying? And he's on point right now. McCarthy is on point. You can't really fault it. There's a lot that they're putting out there right now, so I may have a hard time. Let me go back over here. Quote, it doesn't matter if it's President Trump or Democrat. Our justice system should not be used to target political opponents, period. Dude, how do you fault that? Dude? You can't fault that. Kevin McCarthy, Speaker McCarthy, I don't know. And you have to say whether it's a call from Trump, whether it's influence from Trump. Here's the thing. And I said this before, if you look at, and I don't mean this in a bad way, right? But if you look at, you can look at it. Okay. But there are people, I'm going to try to frame this as positively as I can. There are people in Congress that you would say are more highly attuned to where the political wind's blowing than others. Senator Lindsey Graham, Senator Cruz, maybe Senator Rubio, dude, whatever you thought of Speaker McCarthy before Trump, before the Freedom Caucus, and you got to say, whatever Matt Gaetz, the Freedom Caucus, those 20, that 14th, 15th vote, whatever happened there, whatever phone calls Trump, whatever happened, however Speaker McCarthy got to this point, first of all, you got to thank all those people. But however Speaker McCarthy got to this point, oh my goodness, like the dude is in lane right now. You can't, it's not, it's like, it's there, it's hitting the issues, but it's not like over the, like, it's like, he's in the zone right now, dude. He's in the zone right now. As a speaker, like, you get, like, it's on point. May not be doing everything that the Trump supporters want or whatever, but I mean, like, you can't, he's on point. So we'll see. It's early, but so far, like, how do you criticize what seriously what he's doing? I mean, obviously, of course, you policy differences in Democrats. I get it, but I mean, like, dude's on point. Now we get to DeSantis. This is a tough one right here. This is a tough one. First of all, I'm going to say this, and oh man, this is a tough one. Okay. Look, I live in Florida, and Governor DeSantis has been the best governor that I've ever lived under, that I've ever seen. Like, just unbelievable, amazing. Like, thank you, Governor DeSantis, and the administration has really made, Florida the freedom state. Like, I got my freedom shirt on, everything like that. Thank goodness my family and I were here during, much of the pandemic and all of it. And Florida was open for business. And I mean, Governor DeSantis has just done such an amazing job. And we're so, I run into Democrats. I run into independents. I mean, all kinds of people. Obviously, look at the dude. The dude's won 60-40 and everything like that. I mean, it was a big deal. And a lot of people have moved here from all over the country to be here. And I don't think, I said that I don't know. I mean, I thought he should have been, listen, we can talk about whether he should run. I don't really have a problem with him running for president whatsoever. I'll get to that in a little bit. I really want to put that off because that's not the most important thing right here. But you want to run for president, and he hasn't announced yet. That's the thing. We have all these polls and he hasn't announced yet. Now, we all expect that he's going to announce and run but he hasn't announced yet that he's running for president. And he's just been the most amazing governor, like so great. And obviously I'm conservative, I'm libertarian, so that's where I'm coming from. I get it. But I'm telling you, I talk to Democrats, I talk to independents, and I mean, that is a very widely felt sentiment here in Florida. I got to tell you that, particularly for business owners, restaurateurs, other people that were going to lose their entire business. Like, I mean, Florida is a travel, hospitality, vacation state. Yes, they're building, the tech is coming up and other things but that is a huge part of this state. So that's a big deal. And there's particular issues that people can find fault with, whatever. But in general, that's kind of the feeling. Okay. But man, if you're going to if you want to run for president, if you're Governor DeSantis, there's different, I don't want to get myself into it. There's some inside baseball here. And there's some critiques of maybe, listen, every political operation, every administration, every campaign has their strengths and weaknesses. And there's some critiques of Governor DeSantis and stuff like that. And I think I'm going to try to be listen, if the DeSantis people are listening, first of all, thank you so much for the success and what you've done for the state. And this isn't advice. I'm not giving anybody any advice. This is my personal opinion. I do believe I'm a political expert. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be careful. I'm gonna say this. Dude, you being a DeSantis, there is no limit to what you can do politically if you make the right moves, dude. You know what I'm saying? And you have to take the temperature. This is me. I'm speaking for myself. Okay, let me put it this way. If I were Governor DeSantis right now, man, dude, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, because I get it. I get it. We want the biggest tent possible. Everybody's cool. And here's the thing. Let me pause on that, and I'll come back to that. We got to figure all this out. insiders, the never Trumpers, the Chamber of Commerce, the rhinos, like Freedom Caucus, like we got to all come together. Democrats do so much of a better job of this. We all have to understand that 2024 is so crucial, so crucial, so crucial. Okay, like you can't be having all this type of stuff, right? Like I'm going to say this: if I were Governor DeSantis right now, I would. Oh man, I'm going to get myself in trouble. Dude, and again, this is me. This is my take. This is where I'm at. You know, it's where I think politically makes the most sense. I'm not dissing anyone. I'm not trying to be a punk, but I would get as far away politically from Karl Rove, Jeb Bush, Chamber, all of that. Like I wouldn't walk. I wouldn't run. I would take a rocket ship. You understand what I'm saying? Like that is just, like to me, that's political suicide. That the Republican Party, particularly on the primary, is so far away from that whole scene. I can't even tell you. Like it's by no means viable. The idea is somehow like people don't want the chaos of the little poll tested words or the tweets. Like we're going back to the country club. Like no way, no way, no way, no how. And the polling like doesn't pull it out. If you look at you know, working class folks, like Trump support's super high there. If you look at, you know, you want to talk about Big Ten, if you look at minority communities, different communities, like Trump support's super high there. And if you look at, you know, look at where your support is versus Trump, you look at Biden versus Trump. If you look at these things, you sort out, you look at Trump versus any Republican, like, dude, you have to understand where the party is. This is a working class party now. This is a Big Ten party now. And there's obvious reasons for that. Freedom, peace, love, opportunity, equality for everybody, right? If you look at these policies, and you look at globally and stuff like that, like you know, you went to Yale, you went to Harvard, you're a super smart dude. Like, come on, dude. You got this. Like, that doesn't mean like, hey, we don't want business. Hey, we don't want big donors. Hey, we don't want the, you know, the Mercers, the Romneys, or, you know, whomever, whatever. We want everybody. But we want a system that works for everybody. And we don't want to win because someone got like, you know, how many times can they go after Trump? And if they would go after Trump, you think they're not going to go after you, dude? Look at what they did to Romney. Look at what they did to McCain. Look at what they like, come on, bro. Once it's the general, like you are smarter than that. And your people are smarter than that. Like, you know better than that. You do. You really do. I believe in you, Ron D. I believe in you, brother. You can do this. You can do this. Come on. You got to hit that reset button, because these last couple weeks, and there's going to be some stuff. I'm going to say some stuff here. It's out there. It's out there. So don't be mad at me, bro, because you're a great governor. You've done an amazing job. I'm so thankful to be here in Florida. Okay. So don't be mad at me. No, your peeps don't be mad at me, but there's some stuff out here. And this is the thing. So he had this statement, right? And people are like, hey, what's going on? Why doesn't he say anything? Why isn't he saying anything? And there's some criticism, right? There's some criticism out there. And I don't want to hit there and hit that. We can see it. It's out there. But then you had a statement. And maybe you didn't know what to say. And you want to, but people remember, you didn't say too much with the Mar-a-Lago thing. And where'd that go? And what happened to Biden and stuff like that? Like, that was a big deal, dude. It's a huge deal when you've got whatever you want to call it. You know, some people are calling it a raid, other people call it like whatever happened at Mar-a-Lago, however you want to characterize that. Like, that's a huge deal. It's a former president. Like, what's going on here? Right? I mean, like, all these presidents have to lie. Again, I don't want to get into the milieu of the little things, the technical, like, I don't want to get into all that, but I'm just saying this happens over again and again and again and again and again. And where are we at? And people are just sick of it. So now you had a chance to say something. So you didn't say anything too much back then. It happened in your state, brother. You're a governor. And now you had some stuff here where it's like, and this is a quote. It's on CNN. Quote, I don't know what goes into paying hush money to a porn star to secure silence over some type of alleged affair. DeSantis said as laughter broke out at a news conference in Panama City, Florida. I just can't speak to that. And this is CNN. This was by Steve Contorno and Christian Holmes, March 21st, 2023. Headline, quote, DeSantis needles Trump as he breaks silence on hush money case, unquote. And then the next quote here is really, so that's kind of a shot, but okay, politics. I can, you know, I don't like it, but whatever. That's politics. Like, I'm not gonna, like, okay, like, believe me, I've been in campaigns. So, okay, so, let's let that go. Trump says his stuff. They need to each other. Okay, fine. But then this next thing, quote, DeSantis added, quote, I've got real issues to deal with here in the state of Florida, unquote. Now, on the one hand, like, you don't want to get dragged into it. You're the governor. You're doing things. Okay, I get it. On the other hand, brother, that is like the real issue, or one of the real issues, if not the real issue, which is this crazy lawfare, super hyper partisanship, whatever it takes. Let's take out our political opponents at any cost. Like, it's just like, forget. Because here's the thing. Listen, you're so smart. Like, it takes if we continue with all this stuff on both sides, right? And some would say one side way more than others, right? I mean, we've seen this, right? We saw the Strzok and the Page and all this stuff. Like we all were there. The Mueller report. I mean, come on. Like, dude, Donald Trump didn't even have a real presidency because of all this stuff going on, right? That none of it panned out, right? I mean, are we going to just impeach? Is each party going to impeach the other party every time? Like this just, it has to end. Here's the point I'm trying to make. The main issue is the people have to be able, the choice should be with the people. If you think you're a better candidate than Trump, then run and we'll see what happens. If the people want to elect Joe Biden, then we'll see what happens. If you're the candidate, or Trump's a candidate, or someone else is the candidate, or whatever like that. Like, it's got to be in the hands of the people. What did I say before? First principles. We need transparent, representative, competent government. That's it. That's all people want, dude. And people don't want this situation where it's all day, every day, affecting everybody's lives. Like, people don't want to think about politics every day. It can't be this unending madness. Like, it's got to be like sometimes boring is good. I think people would be cool. And so maybe that's the knock on Trump, like, oh, the chaos, like, okay, but here's the flip side. People will deal with chaos and tweets and mean tweets and all that type of stuff if we have low unemployment, high wages, no wars, low inflation, better energy costs, all this type of stuff. Like we've got to have competency. So, listen, I think Governor DeSantis or his team, they made a huge mistake here. And here's all I'll say. And they're, he's done an amazing job, and a lot of people really happy with what you're doing here in Florida, no doubt about it. I'm thankful to be a Floridian. I appreciate what you've done. I respect you, brother. What you don't want to be, and no disrespect, I'm not trying to be a punk. You don't want to be Ted Cruz, Senator Cruz, circa 2016. It's taken Senator Cruz how long to rebuild himself? He's still not there. Senator Cruz, people were talking about Senator Cruz just as much, if not more, than they're talking about you, Governor DeSantis. You had the Cruz crew. You had all these influencers, and Beck and Levine and Haney. You had so many people on that Cruz train, and Cruz got beat. And then Cruz made, in my opinion, the punk move at the convention of thinking that somehow, like, this like people that are political vets remember that speech, like, and it ruined them. It ruined him, dude. It ruined him politically. Now he's done the verdict, and he's done some cool stuff, and he's rebuilt himself, and he said some things on this. And I very smart, Harvard lawyer, very capable. But what happened is you don't want the base feeling like you're a sellout. You don't want the base feeling like the mask is dropped, the curtain's been pulled, Wizard of Oz. That you're a phony, dude, that you're gonna do a Leader McConnell and be, like people don't, I gotta be careful. Listen, I respect everybody. I mean, and like what I said, who am I? I'm nobody. I just know a lot of things. I know a lot of people. I'm not trying to be a punk, right? But I'm trying to give you honest political analysis. I'm not giving anyone advice. I'm not doing anything. I'm saying what I would do if I were in your shoes. If I'm Governor DeSantis right now, I am hitting that reset button real quick. I'm not going down the way of Senator Cruz. I don't want the base to think of me the way they think of Leader McConnell. I don't want the base to think of me the way they think of a lot of people. Like you have a chance. You are such a political superstar. Your ceiling is so high, bro. Don't blow it. Don't blow it, dude. You can do it. You can do whatever you want. You know what? Maybe it's not in 2024. Maybe it is in 2024. Maybe you're going to be VP. Maybe you're going to be the nominee. Maybe Trump's your VP. I don't know. We'll sort it out. We'll figure it out. But going down this road, here's what I mean by that. It's not about Trump. Has nothing to do with Trump. This part of it. This has nothing to do with Trump. This is about people, voters. I've seen it here in the comments, right? They want to get back to sanity. They want to lower the hyperpartisanship. People don't want to I should be mad at my neighbor and I'm mad at the school. People are tired of being mad at, dude, people want gas that they can afford. People want homes, they can actually buy a home. People want good jobs. People want their kids to go to school and learn stuff without having to worry about what's going on there, 24/7. People want safe streets, all these things. And you are on point with so much of this stuff. But in part of that is people also want a government that and a media and we're all in this together. What did I say? Transparency, competency, representativeness. They want to know hey, if I'm electing, if Governor DeSantis runs on these platform, or Vivek's running this platform, or Nikki Haley's running on this platform, Representative Governor Haley, whomever, and we elect them, they're going to go out there and they're going to do it. And Speaker McCarthy is doing that. And I mean, dude, Speaker McCarthy is on fire. Look at, if you don't like Trump, great. Look at what Speaker McCarthy's doing. He's on fire. He's on fire, dude. He's on fire. He's doing the right things. And it's dude, we love the chamber. We love everybody. We need big business. We need Wall Street. We need Silicon Valley. We need this is the United States of America, dude. We need a political system that works. We're sick of the scandals. We're sick of all. I mean, it's dude, you have all this quasi criminalization of politics, and yet a lot of cities and streets are really unsafe. It's all backwards. It's all backwards. Just people want sanity and stuff that works. That's it. You know what I mean? And people don't want capitalism on the way up, socialism on the way down. People want to have an equal shot. We need to lift everybody up. We need mentorship. We need education. We need an education system that works. I'm someone, obviously, I've got, like I say, I'm over. I make a joke with my wife. We're overeducated, underemployed. We need stuff. We need to get the politics out of tech, get the politics out of venture capital, get the politics out of education, get the politics out of the criminal justice system, all these things. So, you've done great things. I would rethink. And again, this is if I was you, I would hit the reset button real quick and get back to it. You don't like, you whatever it is. You want your shot, take a shot. You don't like Trump, don't like whatever it is. But listen, understand what the real issues are, and get back to that and focus up. That's what I would do. You don't want to go down the way of Senator Cruz at the convention and afterwards. You don't want to be that. You don't want to be in that spot, because you can disagree. You can mix it up. You can as Jesse Kelly says, let's get the two lions in there, and whatever, whoever's the strongest, let's find out. Everyone can run it. Let's have everybody run. That's fine. But, let the voters decide. And when they decide, they decide. And maybe you line yourself up. You say what you need to say. You run your record. You have an amazing, impressive record. And maybe you're the nominee. Maybe you're VP. Maybe you're secretary. I don't know. Maybe you stay. Whatever it is. We would love to see you still here in Florida. I mean, that's the thing. If you're not going to be governor of Florida, hopefully you'll be president. I don't know, dude. But the reason why Trump has, so I'm going to pause on that. I think you understand what I'm saying. I want to be careful what I'm saying. I want to be positive as possible because you're an amazing governor, and I know you're smart. I know your team's smart, and I really think that there's been some mistakes here. And it happens. We all make mistakes. I make mistakes. I probably made a bunch of mistakes in this broadcast, right? But I would say like the reason why Trump has so much support and so strong is because people recognize that like this country's got serious issues right now. The world's got serious issues right now. Like we got to get back on the right track, in my opinion. And there's things that the Biden administration has done that I agree with, and I've said that recently. But like people want the truth. People want representative government. They want honest government, transparent government, and they want competent government. And in reality, people just want to live their lives and not have to worry about government. And have to worry about it's like 24/7 politics and stuff like that. Like it's like people are just done, dude. They want to like have fun with their friends or neighbors or all that type of stuff. And but the stakes are really high, right? The stakes are, this is a very important election, and it's always like, oh, it's the most important election. That's always said. But I mean, this is a pretty important election, 2024. And the thing about Trump is Trump has a track record of success. You look at how the economy was during, look at we're in peace with Trump. Economy was great. Energy prices are great. Unemployment was low. Wages were up. There's a lot. Stock market was up. There's a lot of positive things going on with President Trump. And he was able to somewhat drain the swamp, or at least talk about it, expose it, if you will, in a way that wasn't really ever addressed before. And I think, Speaker McCarthy is picking up on some of this and seeing what these, and people from East Palestine and around the country and rural America and red states and blue states and coast to coast, they want to feel like they've got a stake in this too, and we're all in this together. This is what I'm trying to tell. I've always said this. A 50% solution is not a 100% solution. It's like, you look at how these elections are won, and it's like, you're barely, okay, you won by 100,000 votes, 50,000 votes, 200,000 votes, whatever it is, nationwide. And all of a sudden, like, we're way to the left, or way to like we have to figure out a way to make sense of all this and all come together. We're all winning this together. There isn't a Zoom economy and a mainstream economy. There's like one economy, and we need things that make sense. So, in any event, super complex, obviously. I'm not going to solve it all here. I hope I was able to sort through some of that. I hope it made some sense, and I hope it was a good show. I try to be as diplomatic as I could be. But I believe in, I think we've got some great people running. I believe in again, Governor DeSantis, the best governor I've ever seen or lived under or whatnot. But don't slip up. I think I have here. Okay, yeah, right. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I mean, listen, we want peace, dude. I mean, we want peace. And the Abraham Accords, right? I mean, oh my gosh, the Abraham Accords. It's like, look at that. And full disclosure, my wife is Israeli and had got her U.S. citizenship this year. Yay! She hates me talking about her, but it's like very proud of that. So dual citizen and everything, and that's a big deal. Like now, Israelis can go to Dubai and they can get like let's all get along. Let's all get along. I mean, this is super simple, dude. If you want good economies, you need you need people working out there in the workforce. You need productivity, technology. You need trade. Like, we don't need things that are going to hurt things. We don't need wars. We don't need like negativity. We don't need, shut down. Again, I'm not making any policy pronouncements, but this is not super hard, dude. This is not super hard, and we'll talk about these other things later. This is almost an hour. So I hope I've said enough here. I hope it makes sense. But listen, I'm an optimist. I'm an eternal optimist. I think we learn. I think we're working together. Let's see what happens. Let's see where we go from here. I think it's going to get interesting. And let's go. So let's compete on ideas, and let's compete in the political arena. And there we go. So if left, right, or center, if you're all for democracy, which is really representative government, then we have a constitutional republic here, but the concept, if you will, and democratic norms and rule of law, dude, let's let the voters decide, and let's have, media and that's telling the stories, that's honest and stuff. And there's been so much, like, again, the Twitter files, and God bless Elon Musk. I mean, look at this. But I think, like, people are very smart, and I trust the audience. I think the audience is very smart out there, and let's see what happens. So there we go. So to summarize, Trump's up. This isn't hurting him politically. Vivek, Ramaswamy, and Speaker McCarthy are on fire politically. They're doing some great stuff out there. Governor DeSantis, phenomenal governor, phenomenal team. But I think if I was Governor DeSantis, I'd be hitting the reset buttons. Like, okay, I need to recalibrate here. And listen, you can go out every day. You can say stuff, and listen, we support you, Governor D. So let's see what happens. And let's hope that everybody gets some sanity around here, and let's see where we go from here. So hopefully the world becomes a better place day by day. We're all in this together. Peace, love, freedom, opportunity, equality for everybody. I'm John D. Villarreal, the super genius, the 4-time national champion, and the political expert. I appreciate you being there with me. I look forward, appreciate your comments here. Yeah, thank you. You bet, brother. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you being out there, and I look forward to your comments. I will try to respond on LinkedIn. I will try to respond on all the platforms, YouTube and Facebook. And again, I've been pared down on the political stuff. This channel is going to be more focused on business. I may be doing a talk show here. We talked about that later. And then, so I'm going to sort out. Obviously, the political season, going to be ginning up for 2024. This is for another day, another show. But I'm going to be involved in everything. I have to sort out exactly which platforms I'm going to do different stuff up. But anyway, bottom line is we need to talk about this. It's in the news. Big stuff going on. I appreciate you being out there. I have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I will see you next time.